Are these hills even real, or something out of the Teletubbies? Let's take a tour to the central Philippines and the island of Bohol to find out. It started badly, rain, ferries in the dark, and then a disappointing resort. We also made a huge mistake too. But then we made one last-minute decision that changed everything. This is our honest 3-day guide to Bohol and Panglao Island, including the chaos of getting there and why our first impressions were wrong, and the one thing you absolutely must do if you visit this part of the world. Our Bohol adventure started simply enough with a 3.5-hour flight from Singapore to Cebu, and we'd chosen Singapore Airways for convenience and reliability over Scoot and Cebu Pacific. Love how they always have these luggage trolleys parked at the baggage claim when you arrive. Our first challenge, getting from Cebu Airport to the ferry port in time, was getting a grab, and that took a bit of a challenge as we had to get our eSIM working first. We booked the 5:30 OceanJet ferry, one of the last departures of the day. Missed this, and we're looking at a night in Cebu. So there's our departure. And that's what we're going on. Well. So we're at Cebu Pier number 1, passenger terminal, all ready to go. We've come through, paid our passenger terminal fee, we've checked in and we've got excess baggage, so we've paid excess baggage, we're through security, and now we're just waiting. We've got another 45 minutes to go before our boat is ready to go. We're at Cebu Terminal 1 Pier, and we're about to catch a 2-hour ferry to get us to Tagbilaban Pier, which is on Bohol or Panglao Island. And unfortunately, I booked this expecting it to be a lovely sunset cruise, and as you can see, it's shucking it down with rain. So this is what you get for tourist class when you ask to sit upstairs and outside to enjoy the view. Our luggage is coming up this way. I love the pirate just as well. Oh, there is my luggage. That's mine.
We ask you to please remain seated. Smoking and drinking is strictly prohibited for the duration of the voyage. The equipment tour and waiter, room 513.
531.
531. Nice basin area. Separate shower, loo. And then we've got 2 beds. Gemma's very pleased. So I can snore to a heart's content in this one. And then cookies. And then we've got a view over the beach. Which you can't see. But no wall art. Sorry, Alice Elm. We need you here. There's no wall art. Funny. Okay, ta-ra.
Let me tell you about the decision we made that first afternoon that would change the entire stay we had on Panglao Island. This was our first venture to the island nation of the Philippines, and Panglao was our first stop before heading on to Siquijor and Palawan. Check the link in the description for how we did that. Anyway, we'd not pre-booked anything prior to our arrival, but knew there were some must-sees to visit while we were here. Having checked the cost of doing so with the hotel, taking one of their tours, and after we'd had a wander around town, it turned out that hiring a car would be much cheaper and the best option and give us the flexibility to do and go where we wanted. The hotel wanted to charge us between 5,000 and 10,000 Philippine pesos depending on what we wanted to do. Meanwhile, I took a walk up the road to the Hertz garage, and for half the price we rented this beast for an entire day. Top tip, rent it from about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which essentially means you could start your tour when you want the following morning and have a full day of activities. Given we only had one day to explore the island, our plan was to take in all the major sites, which looked like being a 4-hour drive in total. We left at 7 a.m, deliberately early because we wanted to be first. The Philippine Tarsier Sanctuary opens at 8 o'clock. The tour buses tend to arrive around 9:30. We wanted that window for ourselves. We're at the Tarsier Sanctuary, and these fences are designed to keep the snakes out because the little baby, and this one is called George, is stuck up here in the tree. Note to file, bring a big DSLR zoom lens. These tiny creatures are very hard to capture. Next stop, the Chocolate Hills, which is about a 45-minute inland journey up to the Bohol mountainous interior. From here, they're impressive. Hundreds of perfectly conical hills, supposedly looking like chocolate mounds, particularly in the dry season. But from up here, ultimately, this is why we hired the car. No tour group gives you time for this type of adventure. We were heading back to Panglao, ready for lunch, but what we stumbled on next, completely by accident, would actually become the highlight of our day trip. The Loboc River Cruise. We'd never heard of it, but as we drove through the town on the way back to our hotel, we thought, why not? Let's take a cruise. So what else can you do at lunchtime other than have a little bit of a river cruise? So we're at Loboc River, and this is the thing to do. And this is where the action happens. It's lunchtime, so it's time to go on a little cruise. And all the boats are ready. We've been assigned a boat number 16 over there, and from gate number 4. What could be better? I'm quite hungry actually too. It's a while since we had breakfast. How he can see where he's going, I just don't know. To be honest, everyone trying to get out at once. Get a pretty decent spread of lunch. That's a tuna stew, there's some fried rice, there's some corn, there's some beef, there's some grilled fish, and there's even some pork satay sticks with the chicken. How about that? And some fruit. Sometimes the best experiences are the ones you don't plan. Even if you have to put yourself at the center of the action. 2 hours drifting up the river, buffet lunch, live band. Stops to watch local children demonstrating their skills at tinikling. And mostly Filipino families celebrating something. This wasn't on our itinerary. This was just a discovery. While Alona Beach by day is very average, at night time this place really comes alive. Busy bars, lots of restaurants, buzzy atmosphere. This was the Philippines we'd been hoping for. This is the way to have a roast dog. Whole baby roast pig. Combo meal, only 249 Philippine pesos. So we're looking at suckling pig. Carved expertly. This is a local speciality. Yum. Panglao on a Friday night. It's all happening. Rigby's Grill Barbecue on the other side. Centre of town is that way. We're looking for a bar. This is the place to eat. You come here and you pick your fresh fish. Gizzard, feet, backbones, or even some flesh. Liver, skin, neck. Yeah, not sure about that. Thank you. Skin, sounds good. Yeah, these guys, I think it's John Dory, right? And then, what about some prawns? Maybe some prawns, right? And then you take them over here, and then we haven't cooked. That's fantastic.
Oh my god, I can't believe we're going here. At least he stopped flapping.
So you want some sweet corn?
No, I'm just going to have sweet corn.
How much are the prawns?
Plastic chairs, sand between our toes, a perfectly grilled red snapper. What could be better? Well, maybe not sea urchins, not my favourite dish. And just a warning, there's a lot of sea urchins in the beach. Anyway, for us it's time to move on. Pastures new. We're off to Siquijor.
Just a tad sweaty.
Are you a little bit sweaty? Are those beads of sweat or is that a little bit of rain?
Well, both, look.
It
Pan
is
round.
just a little bit of...
Nice view of the tarpaulin.
Yes, a bit of beach erosion following major typhoons.
We travelled here before the major typhoons of 2025 and we know that this area was particularly badly hit. So our thoughts go out to all of the local people concerned. So what did we learn in 3 days in Bohol and Panglao? The resort disappointed, the weather wasn't perfect, the ferry was wet and dark, but hiring that car, that changed everything. It gave us freedom to arrive earlier at the Tarsier Sanctuary, time to fly the drone at the Chocolate Hills, the spontaneity to discover the Loboc River, and the evening to find authentic Philippines in a beach barbecue instead of the resort restaurant. Imperfect trips often create the best stories. Bohol and Panglao wasn't flawless, but it was genuine, and that's worth more than perfect. This was our introduction to the Philippines. Next up, Siquijor Island and the stunning Coconut Grove Resort. But that's a story for another video. If you're planning Bohol, I've written a complete guide with all the practical details, ferry times, car hire, where to eat, and the link is in the description below. And if you enjoyed this, we've got more Philippines content coming. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching and see you on the next island.